This is Pride East Entertainments. You are watching News Live. Ratan Tata. The name evokes awe and amazement. The 72-year-old chairman of Tata Group, founded by Jamshedji Tata, took over as the group's chairman from J.R.D. Tata in 1991. Then started a drive to bring in younger managers to the helm of affairs in the group companies, the aim being to tap new ideas. Ratan Tata's favorite line to his managers is "Lead, not follow." A living legend in the world of Indian business that has crossed the country's frontiers. Thanks to his drive, he loves doing things differently. He was on an acquisition spree in 2007-2008, buying steel giant Chorus and the Jaguar Land Rover at perhaps not the best of times in the global economy. On 9th March, Tuesday, Ratan Tata himself piloted his private jet from Mumbai to Guwahati to attend the first meeting of the high-profile Assam Investment Advisory Board, chaired by Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi. Ratan Tata has opened shop in Assam, with the foundation stone being laid for a 5-star hotel and the campus of the Tata Institute of Social Sciences in the city. Before flying back, he gave a rare interview to Wasbir Hussain for Talk Time, his popular talk show on News Live.
Hello and welcome to Talk Time. My guest today is a living legend in the world of Indian business that is fast crossing the country's borders thanks to his drive. He is none other than Mr. Ratan Tata, chairman of the Tata Group. Mr. Ratan Tata, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It is very rarely, Mr. Tata, that a leader like you visits a far-flung region like the northeast of India. Now, what does a state like Assam, for example, come in the scheme of things of India's biggest business conglomerate, the Tata Group?
Well, for a long time, I've felt that the northeast part of India has been ignored by industry, ignored by many of us, and of course, Assam, we in Tatas had problems with our tea estates in the past.
Right.
And all through that period, there was a sense of warm feelings for Assam and the people of Assam, although there were some misunderstandings and some allegations against us, which have proved to be incorrect.
Yes.
I was also driven by Mr. Krishna Kumar's own passion for this part of the country. And we have always wanted to participate in the development of this part of India, which has by and large been ignored, wrongly so.
By the industry.
Yes.
Now that you are setting up a 5-star hotel in Guwahati, you are setting up a campus of the Tata Institute of Social Sciences, what is the message really?
The message, and you know, if you look at the northeast part of India, we tried to set up a small car plant in West Bengal. We are building a cancer hospital in West Bengal for the Northeast
Right.
India. So the message really is that for Northeast India, we feel that someone has to make the move in industry to participate in the development of this part of the country. Beautiful as it is, as nice as the people are, as great a potential as there is to
Absolutely.
do something, not just a venal thing of making money as industry and industrialists have come to be known, but the satisfaction of making a difference.
Right. Now, what is your vision of India, Mr. Tata? Because in the region like Assam, or for that matter, Northeast, there is a general perception, general feeling of the people that, okay, we belong to a periphery about which the core doesn't bother much. And that applies to the Indian industry, as you yourself said.
Yeah, I agree with that view. I think that view is valid, and I think it's for people like us to bother and to realize that this is a part of our country which has a great deal to offer. You've got more graduates here per capita than any other part of India.
Absolutely.
You have skills, you have capabilities, and for one reason or another, other parts of the country have progressed, and this has been ignored.
And this realization has come as far as the central government in India is concerned, because it has come up with what is called the Look East policy. Now, do you think the Look East is some kind of a dream, or do you think that can be converted into a workable business proposition as such?
Even if we didn't consider this part of business, it's part of our country. So even if one doesn't make a rupee of profits, it doesn't matter. If we can help tourism increase its activities, if we can create skills and see development. And mind you, I've just been to the hospital here for children. I've been so moved by what I saw. You don't have that in Bombay. There isn't that kind of caring. There isn't that kind of human touch. And we've become very insensitive in our large cities.
Absolutely.
So it's not just making money.
What you are doing is already remarkable, because Operation Smile has brought cheer to so many people in the state, in the region as such.
Yeah, and quite frankly, even though we're supporting it, seeing it made a big difference. So I think more of us should be here and see what you're doing, see what the Chief Minister has done.
When you go back today, you will go back convinced that whatever you have contributed is for a really good cause.
Not only what we've contributed is for a good cause, but that we need to make a commitment to do much more.
Right. And when we talk about trade, when we talk about business, Mr. Tata, we always end up comparing things with China. And we are a democracy, it has, as you know, strengths and weaknesses. But do we really need, or are we ever going to reach up to where China is, or do we need to really?
If we are to compare ourselves to China, infrastructure in this country has to multiply itself many times over. We're woefully behind on infrastructure. If you don't have infrastructure, you won't have development. You won't bring industry, you won't bring tourism, you won't bring visitors. So infrastructure in China is way ahead of India. And here you're more aware of doing something with infrastructure. And you can see here also it's lagging behind the rate of development that you have.
Absolutely.
So if we're to compare ourselves to China, then infrastructure has to be a priority.
So I asked you this question because of the location. We are in Northeast, I'm talking to you in Guwahati. Just across the border in Arunachal Pradesh, there are apparently 4 to 6 lane highways, whereas we are infrastructurally pretty poor.
Well, I've only spent a few hours in Guwahati. It would be wrong for me to pass judgment on the state. But yes, you get the feeling that roadways and connectivity are behind where you are today in terms of development. You've got traffic jams, you've got dusty roads and so on. So yes,
so investment like this, people like you coming, sending out the right message, things can change.
Perhaps, but highways and connectivity of that nature, infrastructure is usually a government
prerogative.
Not only a prerogative, it's usually within the realm of government expenditure.
Right. On that note, we shall go for a short break now, but stay on. When I come back, I shall continue my conversation with Mr. Ratan Tata, Chairman of the Tata Group.